Okay, so welcome everybody to the free university readiness workshop, which allocates or which accommodates for grade 10 and grade 11 and grade 12 learners, and even those ones who are writing or upgrading. So the workshop is hosted by RAMS online tutoring, and the person speaking to you, I know you can't see me, the person speaking to you is the founder of RAMS online tutoring. So today we'll be dealing with how you guys can take charge of your careers. So if you plan early, you are likely to succeed because you'll be knowing what you are doing and why you are applying and what you are applying. So this workshop is to prevent you from applying late, only to find out the course that you want, the space is already gone. So if you start planning from grade 10, that's better. But if you're in matric, that means you have to pull up your socks. Whatever that we're going to tell you today, make sure that you implement it in the next 30 days so that you'll be able to achieve your goals and what you want. So we're going to take turns in presenting the slides or presenting what we want you guys to know. So we have 3 people, including me. They're going to introduce themselves when it's their turn to present. The first one will be the APS score, and then you'll see which one follows as the meeting goes on. Anyone who has any question before we start, or the questions will be after here, you get the chance to ask the questions when we are done presenting. Can everybody hear me? Just by thumbs up. Thumbs up, or you can just unmute yourself and tell me if you can hear me. If you can't, okay? You. Okay. Precious, I see you raised your hand. Do you want to talk or you're just indicating that everything's fine?
Ngisacela ukuthetha tatam. I was going to ask ukuthi maybe is it the slide leso osisebenzisayo uzokwazi ukusishare so that abantu abazayo kwenza i-presentation bamane bezi-reminder kusona because some of the things we might forget them. So bengicela ukubuza nje lokho.
Okay. Let me just share it. Let me share it then. Okay, I'm guessing if there is no question, let's start. So the first person who's going to present, they're going to present on how to calculate your APA score, even telling you what is an APA score. All right. So they're going to introduce themselves. So Makamu, now it's your turn to present.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you are able to hear me. If you are not, you can say in the chat, and then I'll try to speak louder or that you are able to hear me. So my name is Mayana Makam, and I'm an electrical engineer at the University of Witwatersrand. Some people call it VETS. And I'm part of the RAMS online tutoring family. I tutor mathematics, which is one-on-one only, not the group sessions one. So today I'll be taking you through APS. Or can I get the next slide, please? So as I was saying, I'll be taking you guys through APS. APS, which are not just numbers, but there's a story behind them. By the end of this section, you'll see how APS isn't just calculations, it's a tool that can shape opportunities. Now, APS stands for Admissions Point Score. It is the number that university use decide whether you qualify for a course or not. So you can take it as if like it's a ticket. Yeah, it's a ticket that can land you to where you want to go. So let me go to so APS is a no, please stay that one. APS is a number between 0 and 42. Some university use, or some high school, I think, have more than 7 subjects. So I think it can be more than that. I don't think it's going to be in that range only. But we're gonna take it as if you have 7 subjects. So where we're gonna neglect LO, we're going to explain that furthermore. So why do APS matters? APS matters because it's the first filter, right? Before interviews, before bursaries, before scholarships. APS decides if you are ever even considered. So mastering it unlocks the front door to your future. So you have to take it serious and understand what it means. If someone muted themselves. Can you please mute yourself there? Thank you. So moving to the next slide on converting your percentage to points. So every percentage mark in your school report converts to a point value using this table. Sometimes you can look at APS points like as levels. When you look at your report, I think there are levels there for level 1, level 2. So it's the same as those ones which are here. We just level them as points because we're using APS. So there are many ranges to the points. There's 0% to 29, which is 1 point. And then there's the other range, which is 30% to 39, which is 2 points. And you must really pay careful attention to these percentages because they start from 30 and they end at 39. So 30 is included and 39 is included. So I think, for example, on the one of 60 to 69, let's say you got 65, obviously you'll fall into the level of point number 5, which can even say as level 5 in your report if you want to understand it more clearly. So yeah, life orientation is not counted for APS at most universities. Yeah. So they don't consider that one. And then so now let's walk you through an example on how to calculate APS. As APS is calculated from your subject mark, each percentage range translates into a point, which was our previous slide. So the higher points you get, the higher marks you get, so the higher point you're gonna get. So it's simple math, but there are powerful consequences. So we were going to focus on this example where we have Lerato Dlamini, the School of Galfontein Secondary, year 2026, exam cycle October to November, grade 12, career goals nursing, University of Johannesburg. So meaning Lerato, she wants to study nursing at the University of Johannesburg. And we want to calculate if she qualifies or if she'll be able to enter, which is our goal, that calculating Lerato's APS and find out if she qualifies for nursing at the University of Johannesburg, which requires a minimum of 22 to 28 APS. So I'm gonna walk you through on how to calculate that, which is the most important part of this section. So here it is. As we can see that Lerato on her English, she got 68%. And then what you have to do is to go back to that slide. Where's that slide which shows the levels? Yeah, is to go back and match her percentages with her points. As you match them, you're gonna write them on the side. And we saw that Lerato got 68%, which falls under the range of 60 and 69. And then we go to the next subject, which is Zulu. She got 72. So that's how you get to know it. So before I show you this, I was supposed to make you understand that you have to look at those range or the levels. So these points are just your levels on your report. So we're gonna look at them and then we're going to calculate Lerato's APS score. And take in mind that we are not going to include life orientation, but which is not always a must because it depends on the requirements of that particular university. Some universities allow them, some universities don't allow them. So you have to check first, but most of them, they don't allow the levels of life orientation, but it's good to boost your CV to say that you are a serious student. So don't neglect it because they don't include it. So we are going to move into calculating the points, which we can see there. What you're going to do is to write them on your side and add them using your calculator or just calculating. And then when you add them all together, you're gonna add 5 plus 6 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 3, which are all going to add up to 29 APS. And then we excluded the life orientation. Why? Because at the University of Johannesburg, they don't include LO while counting your life orientation. So the most important part is to see your levels and then you add them all together, but excluding life orientation depending on the university that you're applying to. Okay, the next slide. So, no, it's fine. Yeah, so the result and what it means. Let's see, that's what we calculated last. Oh, so these are the results of what we calculated on the previous slide. We got 29 points, adding only these subjects, which are English, Zulu, mathematics, life science, geography, also history, excluding life orientation. These points are 29 out of 42 because we are counting on 1, 2, 3, I think 6. We are counting out of six subjects, and if you multiply 6 subjects with 7, it's gonna give you 42. Hence, we have 29 out of 42. So our total APS point is just 29 points, meaning that she qualifies for nursing at UJ as it falls under the range that they require at that university. You know, does Lerato qualify? Checking against. Okay, as we calculated Lerato's APS, so we're not only going to calculate in a goal of nursing, we're gonna check other other institutions that she qualifies at for the same career, which we already passed UJ, we saw that she qualifies, and then we're gonna go to the second one, which is University of Pretoria, where she can fulfill a goal of becoming a nurse in the program of BSc nursing. And then we're gonna check the minimum that they require, which is between 29 and 32. And then she got 29, so she does qualify for a bit. It's just that she won't be favorable compared to other people. So we're gonna move to the University of Vets, which is medicine, where they require 40 points. And then Lerato's APS is just 29, meaning that she does not qualify, as a APS do not fall under the range of the minimum APS. And then even other institutions, we can see UNISA, where the range is between 29 and between 20 and 24, and then her APS is 29, meaning she does fall. She can be accepted at that institution. And then we go to the last one, last but not least, which is Tshwane University of Technology, which is known as TUT, where their requirements is on the range of 19 and 29, and her APS is 19 and 22, my mistake, and then her APS is 29, meaning she does fall under that range, so she qualifies and she can be accepted even. Yeah, so as we said, we are moving to the next one of one of the most misunderstood part of the APS calculations is that why do we exclude or include life orientation? We don't just choose for our own, it's the institution that choose for us. So you have to check on all the information, like relevant information when applying, that does this institution that I want, does it count LO? Because on some institution, for example, UCT, they don't count it at all. They don't look at it. Either you got 100 or you get a 90, but I think it matters if you get like 20% or something, because they'll think you're not a serious student. So don't take it lightly, but still know that it won't matter that much into you. So we can look into other institutions, will be UP. They look into best of 6 only. So they also exclude LO, which is the same as UCT. And then we go to VETS. They count LO, but into particular fields. So it also doesn't count that much as well. So also you looking into UNISA, you have to check because some count them. I think UNISA does count some of them. And then we go to UJ. UJ, just like UCT and UP, it does not count LO, your LO marks or APS. And then we go to TUT, VUT, or DUT, which are the University of Technologies. Yeah, here life orientation marks or APS is counted. So you must take it serious if you are intending to study at this institution, because they take it seriously. So even when LO is excluded from APS, you must still pass it to receive your NSC metric certificate. So as I was saying, don't neglect it for your CV so that they can see that you are serious. Okay. So now I'm gonna give you guys a 10 to calculate your own APS. So you're going to use this template with your own school reports, either grade 11, because I think the marks for term 1 are not yet out. I don't know, but in most schools, they are not yet out. So you can take your previous year report and then put your percentage there and then your points for the first subject, which can be home language, which is compulsory and the most important one. And then subject 2, you can include mathematics or physical science, etc., etc., until the last one. And then do not include life orientation, depending on what you want to apply for at university. But I think it's important to generally not include it, but make sure that you pass it. Yeah, so here are common traps or common APS calculation mistakes and how to avoid them. Don't let these errors cost you your university place, as APS is your only ticket into entering university, so you must take it important. So the first mistake that you must avoid is including LO when the university excluded. So you must always check the rules and follow them. You must not see that I got 100 in LO, so there's no way that they're going to reject you. They can still reject you. It's their rules. So always check the specific university prospectus. Most public universities exclude LO, as I was saying throughout the session. And then mistake number 2 is using your term mark instead of your final mark. APS is calculated using your final year end percentage, not June, not trial, not the first term that are going to come out or that is already came out. So you must take this important and calculate your APS according to your final year and percentages. And then mistake number 3, which is rounding marks incorrectly. Do not round up. Like 79.8 is still 6 points, but I think on the report they don't show the decimal, so I don't think you have to worry about this. It's just that when you got 79, don't think you got 8. As I was saying at the beginning, I said that it includes 30 to 39. That's for that level, and then the other levels start at 40. So meaning here you're going to focus on the level of on the range of 70 to 79. Yeah, it only becomes 7 at exactly 80% or higher, as I said. And then mistake number 4 is applying to only one university. I think it's better to make your chances of being admitted at university high. So how do you make those chances high? You make those chances high by applying into multiple universities. My advice to you to apply to all of them, even though there are applications fee and whatnot. Try to ask your guardians or your parents to apply to all of them, and then apply to 3 to 5 universities with different APS requirements, so you have backup options. And don't just apply to anything. Apply to what you want and what you think you have earned for. And then mistakes number 5 is not checking subject minimums. Some programs require a minimum mark in a specific subject, regardless of total APS. For example, let's say you got 80% in language, and then you got level 4 in science and maths, and then you expect to be accepted for STEM. Yeah, for STEM programs. So they won't look at that because STEM programs mainly focus on science and maths. So I think it's best to make sure that you do well in all of your subjects so that you have a high range of opportunities to get admitted. And then mistake number last but not least, which is waiting too long to calculate. You must calculate your APS now using your grade 11 results, and also grade 11 results. I think they are needed when you are applying in most of universities. So it's best to calculate using your grade 11 results. If you are not in grade 11, it's just best to take this information and understand how to calculate it when you get to metric. So you need this before applying. So now I'm gonna pass it to my other colleague, I hope you understood calculating APS, which is just adding up the levels, excluding LO, depending on the institution. So good luck with improving your APS.
Thank you. Now it's your turn.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Saripumelo Choke, and I'm a student at the University of Vet studying engineering.
Before you continue, Precious is raising her hand. You can ask.
Okay, ngizocela ladies ukuthi at least nisinikeze the chance ukuthi njengoba kade ekhulumile uMr. Makamu, then if we have ama-questions sibuze manje before kudlulelwa kwenye so that sibe sorted. Mr. Makamu ngicela ukubuza the borderline meaning uma i-subject ivela isithi or i-institution ivela isithi borderline isho ukuthini the word borderline.
I think you're talking about slide. Which slide is that one? Can you go back, Mr. Rams?
Yes,
Yeah, I
the
think they
one
mean this.
UP.
All right. So borderline usually means right on the edge, like between two categories. In the APS context, it's just used when a learner score is just meeting or missing the requirement. So meaning they are close to missing it, because as you see, 29 is close to 27, right?
Yes.
Close to 28. So for example, if a course requires 34 APS score and you have 33 or 34, you are considered borderline.
Okay.
It
So
means
at least maybe if
you
I
are
can
not
be
a
on
clear
32,
yes.
then okay.
Yeah, you're not a clear yes or a clear no. You are sitting on the fence, so you are not, you are on standby. They can even send you an email saying you're on standby, waiting list.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Any more questions from the audience?
Or those who are shy to ask questions, they can just type in the chats.
Yes.
Even for the other.
There is a hand.
Oh, I don't see it.
Okay, if you raise your hand, you can talk.
Greetings, everyone. I simply wanted to ask if maybe, for example, in grade 11, maybe my report was not very impressive. Maybe I want to study for a specific course. Maybe it's, let's say, for example, mechanical engineering.
Yes.
And maybe the course might require my maths to be level 5
Yeah.
and my physics to be, I don't know, I'm just guessing, maybe level 6. And
Yeah.
if maybe my maths is level 5 and my physics is level 5, while they require it to be level 6, then what do I do?
On your grade 11 or the final for metric?
Grade 11 final.
Grade 11 final.
Can I answer?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
So, as much as they say grade 11 report is important, right? It is important for provisional acceptance, but they won't accept you based on your grade 11 report. So, what you have to do now is to make sure that you excel in your grade 12 and then you will be accepted.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, so basically I think she meant that grade 11 books space for you if you already did well. But if you didn't do well in grade 11 and do well in grade 12, they won't focus on the grade 11. So it's best to focus on your grade 12. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, but for those who are still in their grade 11, make sure you excel in at the end of the year in grade 11 so that you don't have to be compensating because your grade 11 was bad. Because in my situation, my grade 11 was bad. And I remember receiving that rejection letter from Stellenbosch. So in the middle of the year, I was like, you, what a demotivation, but hey, we had to live with it. But at the end of the day, the end year metric results did show that this boy is serious. So yeah, if you didn't do well in metric in grade at the end of the year in grade 11, you can still improve with your metric results. As long as you push yourself enough to improve, then you'll improve. So I think that's all I can say.
Yeah, and I think if you are